Let's talk a little more about first love, because this is a subject that deserves our attention. In Revelation chapter 2 verse 4 it says, "But I hold it against you that you have forsaken your first love." We read in the book of Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 2, "I remember how you wanted to please me when you were a young bride a long time ago. You loved me and followed me even in the desert." God considered Israel to be his bride. He sought her out in Egypt and rescued her from slavery, and, on Mount Sinai, with the giving of the covenant, he married them. First love. They say that everyone remembers their first love. Few experiences will be as intense as your first crush. Researchers have identified pathways in the brain that light up when teenagers are in love. Falling in love seems to have effects on the brain, we are told, similar to those of cocaine use. It's so pleasurable that falling in love, especially at a young age, can become an addiction. Josue Campaña, speaking of the book Crazy Love, says that it's part of any relationship. The intensity and vibrancy of the first moments are gradually taken over by routine, and what was once a happy dependence becomes a burden, if not a cynical indifference to the other. Unfortunately, the same happens in our relationship with God. We end up getting used to living away from Him. It just takes us a while to realize it. Our supposed self-sufficiency makes it difficult to fit God into a world whose main answers have already been given. For some of us, the honeymoon is over and the first love is gone. It's like a newlywed man who doesn't go to work in the morning without kissing his wife, but over the years forgets this simple gesture. We need to go back to our first love. If we want revival, one of the first things we need to do is get rid of rival loves, which have crept in and made us forget our first love, which is the Lord. Now, the most obvious rival, of course, is sin. We all understand that, but rivals that are more problematic in our lives, that rob us of our first love, devotion, and marriage to Jesus, are often more subtle than mere obvious sin. One of the main problems we can fight against is busyness. It was Socrates who said, "Beware of the dryness of a busy life." Moses' choice. God said, "And the Lord said to Moses, Go, you and the people whom you brought up out of the land of Egypt, go up to the land which I swore to Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, saying, To your seed I will give it. And I will send an angel before you, and I will drive out the Canaanites, and the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, to a land flowing with milk and honey. For I will not go up among you, because you are a stubborn people, lest I consume you in the way." Moses then says that the land flowing with milk and honey is no match for the presence of the Lord. Have we reached the point of choosing only God and nothing else? Have we declared that we will seek the Lord's kingdom and His righteousness? Only in God are we renewed with wings like eagles, where even when we are tired we find the strength to carry on. Let me tell you a story, maybe you've heard it before. There was a widower and his daughter, his only child. They lived together, and every evening, after the farmer had worked and the girl had returned from her studies, they would sit by the fire and talk about the day. But there came a time when the daughter, after tea and cleaning up, would spend a few moments and then disappear, no longer sitting by the fire with her father, but going up to her room. He was a little upset by this, but he was obviously thinking, she's coming of age, and maybe it's a bit ridiculous for her to sit here with me every evening, she has other things to do, maybe she needs to study more. He tried to make excuses for her, but he was really hurt by it. The weeks went by, and Christmas arrived. On Christmas morning, his only daughter came downstairs and handed him a package. He opened the beautiful package and found a pair of handmade leather slippers. That's what she was doing going up the stairs. Night after night after night, meticulously, with loving devotion, preparing this gift for him. Tears began to run down his face and he thanked her, but this is what he said, "I'd rather have you than the slippers." Do we love being in God's presence, or do we just want to do things for the Lord? Lord, may we be able to say like the psalmist in Psalms chapter 73 verse 25, "Whom have I in heaven but you? And on earth there is no one I desire but you." May it be so. God bless you.